So, last we left off, we had a bit of a mini boss battle. Coming across the Knowles bandit camp, you encountered Rule and his Knoll bandits. After charging in headfirst and causing a ruckus, the battle got pretty heated pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Vargir took one too many wounds and fell down unconscious. But thankfully, due to the wonders of modern science and magic, Molokov managed to stabilize him. But it wasn't science that brought him back to the land of the living. It was a spell from Ghost that no one seemed to see. Exploring the camp, you found the prisoner you were looking for, Kelly Keeling, as Hera went up and untied her and introduced her to the rest of the party. And Ghost and Puck discovered what seemed to be a Titan, a Warforged Titan arm buried deep that they had come across when digging. Leaving one Knoll cowered up behind the camp in the entrance to the tunnel, you all took chances to do a long rest and leveled up to level 2. We're going to backtrack a little bit into the night as we come across Molokov on your watch.
So as pretty, relatively similar to what I said, would have been near the back of the camp, watching the knoll, watching the tunnels, but the whole time would have been sort of set up by he would have pulled off his pack and sort of thrown it on the ground. It sort of opens up into, it's got this sort of chest in the middle, and opens up, and there's just rolls of tools and all sorts of other just powders and hammers and that sort of thing on the outsides. And he would have been sort of set up at the campfire, and he would have almost the first thing he would have done is taken off his brooch that holds his cloak, and essentially he took the powder, the Dragonstone shard powder, and would have coated it sort of over the top and taken almost this little smelting bowl that he had and put it inside the and it had, with a little mold in it, and would have had it sort of sitting inside the fire, and over time let it sort of melt in and coat the brooch itself, almost infusing it inside with it. And at this point, as sort of that's cooking, would have sort of thought to himself and looked over at the new party and gone over to his new smaller friend who seems like-minded and sort of shaking him awake. And,
hey, whoa.
Shh. The rest are sleeping.
It's not the morning yet?
It's definitely not.
Dear Lord. Fuck, we under rope up.
No. I'm working on something, and it might interest you. Come. And he sort of takes you over to the fire and sort of shows, you'll see a scattering of tools. He's not a very clean worker or, tidy worker. There would have, there will be tools everywhere, notes all over the ground.
Really?
A lot of it won't really make sense. There'll be, the
This
notes
is
will be
romantic.
a smattering of runes and shorthand and all that sort of stuff. But at the center of it, is this vial of that green powder, and you can see the smelting bowl that he's got, and he's also, you can see working on his shield, he's got a small pile on there, and he hands you the rest of the vial. And this is really something. I found it on the well, I wouldn't call it a body. There wasn't much left, but the pile of rubble that was this camp's leader. I think I think it's a power source. I think it's what ran his whirligig.
Good description.
Really cool. What did you say? Oh, that's
I've used what I can here, but I don't know. I feel we're like-minded. You might be able to make some use of the rest. And he hands it over to you, and almost immediately turns back to the small pile he's got left, and he starts drawing a rune on this sort of arm guard he has, and draws a similar rune on the back of his shield, and allows you to sort of keep going. And he's doing a few, just starts working away on it, on what he's working on. And I don't know, do you have any ideas?
I've worked with a few, if you want to call them power sources in my time, black powders, explosives, chemical agents that release energy when you mix them together. But this is different. I'll ritually cast Identify on it to get some understanding over the next 10 minutes.
Sure.
To learn what this is. As a player, I know that this is Dragon Shard dust.
Yes.
What? Do I have any insight into how rare or what Dragon Shards are?
I will let the Identify take hold for that information, but if you want to do anything in the meantime in the 10 minutes, go ahead.
I mean, you're right in saying we're like-minded. Seems like you have a lot of work in progress. So do I. But my problem's not a power source as such. This will definitely help. It'll fill some gaps, but shames me to say I lack a little bit of knowledge in the finer arcane aspects of artifice. There's some of your runes that I can't even understand.
Well, perhaps I can help. That is more of my area of expertise. And almost as he says that, clicks his fingers, and the rune on his arm guard, where he'd drawn with the powder, sort of lights up in that green flame and leaves this almost crystalline mark of it. And then he sort of flips it around and goes to the shield, does the same thing, and again, this crystalline mark, these two identical things that is... Let's see if it works, eh? And he sort of looks up to the stars and takes the shield in his hand and just gives it a big frisbee toss up to like this sort of the cliffside. And he's holding his arm out, and he sort of looks at it as it keeps going and going. And you can see he looks worried for half a second, then he's just fucking throwing his shield away. And then suddenly the rune on his arm lights up and it starts spinning back towards him, and he catches it on the arm. Huh. It worked.
That's freaking cool.
As you see it come back to him, your identifier will start to make sense in your head. You have heard of dragon shards before. It's not common that it is in dust form. Usually they are solid crystals that you can find around the place. Grounding them up into dust is an odd concept. Probably unfamiliar with you. If one of your other compatriots were awake now, they might be able to explain that dust can be used in replacement for some components for spells. But this doesn't fully occur to you. Maybe in identifying it, you can see that it possibly can be used in this way, but dragon shards are usually solid forms. This one being green, you can identify as an Eberron dragon shard. Eberron dragon shards are found throughout the world. They're the most common, and they take on the colors of, reds, blues, greens, sometimes whites. But in identifying it, you make sense of old history lore as well, that there are two other kinds of dragon shards. There are Sybaris dragon shards and Kyber dragon shards. Kyber dragon shards are normally found deep within the earth, following the myth that he is locked within Eberron. And Sybaris dragon shards are said to be the rings that form around the planet, occasionally dropping down into the material world. Kyber dragon shards would follow the colors of copper, brass, silver, gold, and bronze. And then Sybaris ones would follow like clear diamond and emerald and kind of, crystal-like colors, being the rarest of the three.
Whew. So the identify goes off, and this mechanism he uses for the identify kind of flashes, and also there's a flash behind his eyes that mimic this as this information is sort of transferred. Oh, it really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Such a strange mystical stuff this is.
Yes, I've never seen something quite like it. It makes it makes sense, and it doesn't at the same time. It almost connects a lot of dots, and well, don't need to say I couldn't have achieved this without it. I don't think.
It's like pure condensed arcane energy. It's a little daunting, to be honest. I will take a small. I don't know how much of it's left, but I will take literally what is the equivalent of a pinch, and put that in one of my own vials and offer the rest back to you. For now, I don't think I can use much of this. Seems more up your alley.
Thank you.
Although, I do need help with something. I will go into my pack, my regular old pack, and I'll pull out what looks like a sawn-off firearm barrel. It's a little bit kinked. Definitely something that's been pulled out of a scrap heap at some point. What looks like a small revolving mechanism, and pull my briefcase out and open that up as well. This will be the first time you've seen into the inside of my case, as I described it last week. Large book in the center, which he pulls out, folds the legs out of the briefcase, opens the book, starts flicking through a bunch of pages, and he goes to sort of the end of the book, and some of these pages fold out again, so he starts unwrapping these various designs and diagrams. So this is one I haven't been able to get to work. I've got most of the runes down. I've got energy, create. This one I don't quite understand. It was one that my mentor taught me. I think it's meant to do something like almost channels the elements, but it's not elements, it's just energy. Anyway, in theory, if I can get all of these working together, if I attach this to my bow, it will generate its own ammunition? In theory. But it's, I'm missing something. I'm missing the rune that links it all together. I've had some ideas, and this stuff is probably going to help in the process, but...
What you need is replication. Yes? Yes. Yes, replication. And starts just looking through notes, and yes, and just snatches one of your arrows and and immediately gets out a small tool and starts engraving on it. And yes. Probably gets out another few, like, vials of powder and that sort of thing, and fills the little notches that he's engraved in, and will hold it over the fire for a few seconds. Just shove his middle arm inside, and then pull it back, and yes, okay, now, and starts and just probably spends some time working on it. Try this.
Well crafted. I don't understand that at all. Oh wait. What's the language of your runes? General Arcane?
Arcane.
Yeah, cool.
I have not. Probably a mixture of gnomish, goblin, and just sort of ancient, or unknown magic. It's a mixture of, it's arcane. He has studied many things over his time, and
give me an intelligence check, Ghost.
Hey.
Or Arcana if you want.
That'll be decent. 17.
You can understand, like, how best to put this. If you pick up a book of mathematics, you know that inside it is maths.
Yeah.
But you might not understand it. You can kind of get what each piece of paper is leaning towards, but you don't understand the context of it, or the content of it.
Wonderful. Although I think you're right. Replication. That's what I was missing. And he pulls off the autoloader adapter that's on his crossbow. It's just a modified version of the loading mechanism, so that he can cock it on his belt and have the bolt pop up by itself. Removes that section entirely. You can see it all. It's not like fine elven craftsmanship, but it's all well put together and comes apart like a rifle. Like everything clicks in certain places and slides and breaks apart. It's all very well thought out in that aspect. Pops off the sight mechanism in the back and the foot peg at the front. Slides this barrel down onto the end. Pops another metal section out of it that looks like it was just a filler in place for this small revolving mechanism. Pops it all together, and then finally slides your bolt down the inside of the barrel and caps it with a small brass cap with a smaller refined hole in it with another couple of small runic symbols, and goes, "Best give it a shot." Spins the barrel on the back, aims it forward without loading it, drawing the mechanism, and pulls the trigger, and 6 different runes, slightly different colors on the barrel, on the revolving mechanism light up. It clicks over, and the string pulls itself back and whips forward. And as it does, a red bolt fires out of the end of the bowl and disapparates against the rock on the far side. Well, fuck me sideways. I didn't think I'd be able to finish that for at least another couple of years.
Well,
That's been work in the making.
you certainly did the heavy lifting. I'm glad I could provide the final piece. As men of science, we must stick together on these things, no?
I think you and I could learn a lot from each other. In fact, I'll show you one more. This one, I know I've got. And he puts the bow down, goes over to the briefcase, folds the book up, puts the book to the side, and then starts moving all of the various pieces inside the case. And it's like a Swiss watch. Like, there's so many different articulating pieces and features. Like, this looks like he's been building this for a very long time. And he starts pulling up certain sections. You can see small runes, which you'll attribute. Some of them are in Dwarvish, but again, in that arcane language, you can see the ideas of space, containment, lock, hide, and various other arcane runes. He takes that small pinch of that powder that he had, and he puts a tiny little section into each one of these runes. Then he takes the book, places it back into that square section in the middle that seems to perfectly contain it, and pulls a small square sheet of metal out and sort of tucks it into the front leather binding. Takes an engraving tool and carves in one more final rune, which this one you won't recognize. It's not Arcana. Puts the final little piece of that powder on top of it and goes, right, now we need fire. He goes over to the bonfire, pulls up burning piece of wood, holds it over the front, takes a small vial of oil, tips it over the flame and over the dust, and as it ignites, the dragon shard dust ignites with it, soft green glow that appears, and right when these green and orange flames almost reach a peak about a foot high, he puts his hand into the middle of it and pushes, and the book disappears into a space. A black hole, square in the center of the briefcase.
Huh. Extra-dimensional space.
I'm sure Puck will
This
love
one
that.
took me a while to figure out. That power source definitely helped. I knew I was just missing a little bit of energy. Had the runes already up here.
I like it.
Nice.
Very cool.
As you see this happen, you go into a science frenzy of your minds as you kind of just start talking about ideas and stuff, and eventually drift off back to sleep. Vargir, as you lay asleep at night, surrounded by the warmth of the fire and your new companions, you drift off. It's cool at night, but you're used to sleeping out in the wilds. As you kind of flutter your eyelids open for a bit, you see that the fire is out, and you are alone. In a sort of panic, you look around, and you are in just sand dunes. Stretch out for miles on either end. What would you like to do? You're muted.
Thank you. I guess I will just look around and see if I can find Obak.
Give me a perception or animal handling check.
Let's go with an animal handling. It's a 13.
13. You look around for your mount and you can see like hoof prints in the the sand, leading off in one direction.
I'll yell out, Obak! And then I'll follow the hoof tracks.
You get yourself up, you start following the tracks, and they slowly start changing from big, circle hoof prints into smaller and more slimline footprints.
I'll just kind of look down and notice it and just say to myself, why does this shit keep happening? And I'll keep following them.
Sure. Eventually, they turn into not even slim footprints, but small footprints. And then they disappear, and you see ahead of you a kind of a collection of kindling and wood, like someone's about to set a fire, and sitting on the opposite side of it is a small silhouetted figure of a girl. It's dark though; it's still nighttime in this vision or whatever you want to call it. The sights of like deserts at night where it's like it looks that cool blue on the sand.
Yeah.
But there's no light on her face.
I'll kind of slowly approach and kind of like sit myself down on the opposite side.
Yep.
Of the kindling. Do I get a clearer look?
It's still very dark. The shadows are cast across her face. She seems to be wearing what you could describe as almost druidic drapes across her. Maybe you can make out some greens, some browns, but you can't make out any details of her face. In your head, you hear a language you haven't heard before, but you kind of can make sense of it. It almost sounds like a whisper. You hear it translate almost to kindle the light.
What do you mean?
You hear it again. You must light your way.
Do I have any gear on me or anything still?
You have a look down, and yeah, you've got your pack, you've got everything you normally adventure with.
I'll then like grab this. I guess we've made it canon. We have lighters now, don't we?
Yeah, little like kind of like stone flintlock kind of lighters.
I guess I'll just grab it. I guess I'll grab the a stone and flintlock and kind of just until it makes a spark onto the kindling.
Give me a charisma check.
Sure. That's 13.
As you strike it, you realize that your almost your strength or your hold on the flint doesn't do it until you will it to ignite. And then the flames in front of you kind of... And it lights up her face for a split second. You see it's young. It's, fair hair. But then the flames get in your way.
Sorry, go.
And she is now behind the flames. So by creating this light, you've still obstructed her view.
Yeah. As I do get like a glimpse of her face, I think he'll quickly stand up and run round to see if he can see her.
Sure. You run round and realize that she is on the other side of the fire still.
Who are you?
The voice comes through your head again. Shelter the light.
Shelter the light. Why are you speaking in riddles?
Same thing comes through again. Shelter the light. So at this point, you hear the pitter-patter of something moving around in the dark, in the shadows.
I'll instantly spin around and like pull out my mace and my shield.
You pull out your mace, and as you look out, you notice that the fire behind you is casting so much of a shadow of yourself that it makes it harder for you to look out into the darkness. You know, the light source is behind you.
Mm.
You hear these creatures getting closer.
Who's there?
You start to hear noises of something almost monstrous. And the fire starts to go lower and lower.
As I reach back, I'm going to grab one of the pieces of kindling and throw it in the direction of where I hear the sound coming from.
Sure. As it goes, it gets darker and darker, and it almost disappears into the shadow as you see the shadows start coming closer and closer to you. Pure darkness.
I'm going to see, is this young girl still around?
Doesn't seem to be. But you do hear, preserve your light.
As she says that, I'll kind of like, I'm gonna touch myself with my shield. With my mace onto my heart, and I'll cast protection from evil and good.
Sure.
As I'll say, only cowards hide in the darkness. As I'll like prep myself for a fight.
You almost go down, and you can feel the air move as this shadow gets closer and closer to you. The bonfire is getting lower and lower, and you're almost starting to strain your eyes to see in the dark. And then it goes pitch black. And you feel almost a hand on your shoulder ready to guide you. And then you get the sense of you know exactly where everything is around you in the darkness. And you hear a final thing. Be the light. Flash of white light before you awake back in the camp.
Yeah, I'll definitely wake up.
As you wake up, Puck and Hera, you are the first to awake of the day.
Get up and stretch. Never nice to sleep on hard ground, but how are you?
Well, I suppose I'm used to sleeping in all sorts of places. It's been many years since I've had to do that, but I guess memory, always brings you back. Well, yeah. Let's get a move on. Looks like the sun could get quite hot out on those plains.
Yes, perhaps we should eat something and the others can wake up. So I'll start like rummaging through my bag and get some rations out. And while I do, I'll offer you some of them. And I'll say, what brought you and your friend to town?
Well, we're actually more or less here on business, and I'll be pulling out some breakfast. So I'll pull out some papers and a filter and some rolling tobacco.
Breakfast.
Yeah, well, we're on
Coffee in the dark.
The university, you see, and well, they need us to go. We heard this town goes and gets artifacts and things of interest, and my professor, he sent us out here to join a crew and see what we could maybe find that was worthy of study at the university.
Which university is this?
It is the university.
Moorgrave.
Moorgrave.
And you're both just students there, is that?
Yes, we're probably been there a few years now.
Would I know where Moorgrave is? Is that?
Just give me a history check.
History. 13. Yeah, 13.
13. You've heard not rumors of it, but like everyone's heard of Harvard, everyone's heard of Oxford, kind of thing. It's one of the learned institutes in Shan.
Oh, in Shan. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a pretty fancy place. And you guys are just friends. That's your relationship.
Yes,
He seems
yes,
protective of you.
yes. Well, not many of us around here. We got to stick together.
Well, I hope.
Didn't expect to run into this much trouble this early on. I heard it was dangerous, but this is quite something I was not expecting.
Yes, I think you might be better off if you treat the wilder parts of the country as you would treat a dark alley in the city of Shan. Keep your money purse close to you and try not to draw any attention.
As you say that, Hera will definitely sort of do a little take at her money purse and sort of grab it a little bit and make sure it's strapped quite tightly on.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. Well, you guys seem to be looking out for us as well, so hopefully we can return the favor.
Yes. Well, I think quite a few of us have all now bled together, and it's the kind of thing that bonds you.
Puck, do you want to give me a perception check quickly?
Perception. That's a 15.
Perception, not deception. Not
Yeah,
deception.
I said perception. Yeah.
What was the roll? 15.
15. Yeah, I'm not lying.
No. It just sounded like you said deception. Anyway,
No.
When Hera does tighten that purse, it looks pretty heavy.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna start waking some other people up.
Sure.
I
At this
reckon that
point,
maybe-
others are waking up. Vargir, you kind of jolt awake and see that everyone else is kind of doing their morning routine, but you are all now in the scene.
Well, I think we should break camp pretty soon. But I did have a question for you, Ghost. You had a look through the tent, didn't you, of the leader rule?
Oh, aye.
Did anyone else hear him mention the green? What was it? This is Jed. Can't remember. The green hand, the green claw.
Green claw, green talon, something like that.
Yes, I've never heard of it. Does that ring a bell for anyone? Seemed to be someone or something that he looked up to or worshipped or worked for.
Well,
were there any papers or anything?
DM, no.
Not in relation to that. Anyone can give me a history check if they want.
I'll do my damnedest.
10.
15.
Oh. I'm not very. Let's see how historical I am.
Intelligence modifier. You're playing smart characters.
We're an intelligence party for 6.
18.
Hey.
Hera, did you get anything?
The dirty 20.
Oh, dirty 20.
I rolled there.
Hera, the only thing you could probably connect it to is there is a group, if you want to call it, that go by the Emerald Claw. Whether that's any connection or not, that's probably the only link you could make.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably still mention that. I mean, emeralds are green. Gnolls are not the most intelligent of creatures. They probably don't know the difference between their gems.
It's true. And you know what else is green? That
Grass.
gem we found before. The powder.
Oh, yes.
Probably something worth keeping in mind, but not sure what else to do with that information. Does anyone need to do anything before we leave?
No, not necessarily. I was just about to say the only thing I could relate it to was that power source he was using, but I haven't heard of a wandering band of dragon shard worshippers.
Hmm. No.
Nothing of the sort. Not really my area of expertise.
No, nor are we this area's sheriffs or anything, so guess we can keep the town safe while we're around if needed to be, but there is a sheriff there. Perhaps that's something he can look into.
Oh, Kelly kind of stretches and goes, speaking of the town, we're going to get on our way anytime soon?
I do have someone to meet there, so I wouldn't mind leaving as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, that's right. You mentioned someone looking for a team for a job.
I did, and I believe I'm late.
Well, let's get a move on then, don't we? Goes unceremoniously, opens the briefcase, and throws all of his things into it, except for his the things he carries on him: his crossbow, his hammer, and then shuts it up, grabs it with the mitted hand.
Is this like you're throwing more that should fit in there, or just like?
Oh yeah, this is
Okay.
weird for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he takes off his pack and just
Yeah.
and then like a belt of like extra things that he has on beneath the bandolier of his main canister rails, throws that in there, grabs probably his collection of salvage and drops that in there too. Like it's just endlessly disappearing into the inside.
DM question.
Yes.
If we're trying to use potions in combat,
Yes.
what's that? Is that an action? And if we're trying to use a potion on
But-
someone else?
Bonus action for yourself, action for someone else.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go up to Bargia and I'm going to say, we found this, and I'm going to hand you over the little red vial. This is a healing potion. If you've heard of that.
I have. Thank you.
Yes,
Much
well,
appreciated.
Looks like you're the kind of person to rush headlong into problems.
Yeah, sometimes that can be my biggest flaw.
Well, hopefully this can help mitigate some of that risk. Shall we load up the animals and get ready?
I think so. Anyone need a lift? I'm sure Obak wouldn't mind, as I give him like a big pat on the.
Oh,
on the
that would
thumb.
be absolutely wonderful. I'm ravished. Kelly will help herself up onto Obak.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that she is bringing the forms and stuff that she needs to
Sure,
fill
you
out.
see
She doesn't,
them,
like, left them.
they're kind of like shoved into a pocket, not
Sure.
in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, cool.
All right. As you get all your stuff together, load up the animals and start making your way out of the camp. Can someone give me a weather roll?
Absolutely.
A
Hi,
D20,
well, look
please.
up. Where's your
D20.
fluffy friend?
It's a
Sorry, I missed
14.
that. What was that?
Where's your fluffy friend?
You look
Fluffy-
It's a 14, Reese.
The
cool.
knoll that you spoke to.
Oh. Like,
You look back and it is not there.
well, it appears he's headed into the tunnels. I was not holding out much hope for this. So,
You should remember this spot, though. Might be worth coming back to.
agreed.
we
Maybe
want
if
to
we're
tell
lucky, he'll.
the authorities?
Sorry, what?
Do we want to tell the authorities this is here, or is this something that you would both like to keep on the down low?
Actually, I think that could be an interesting conversation. Don't much trust the authorities. Perhaps we should meet them first.
Seems reasonable.
Oh,
Right.
Sheriff's a right bowl of laughs. I'm sure he'll love the tale of this place.
Impressions matter, but it's good to hear a good word.
All right. As you start moving out of the gate, you feel the pitter-patter as some rain starts to set in. It's not heavy, but it's enough to be a nuisance. You start moving out, leaving the camp behind you, as you start making the way back to the town. It's about a 4-hour journey. If anyone would like to interact with anyone on the journey, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Happy here.
At around 2 hours into the journey, Kelly will be got her hood up, sitting on the back of Obark. Everyone else kind of moving around. Puck, if you're on Swift Scale, kind of sometimes scouting ahead, sometimes coming back. It's got a bigger stride than Obark, so you cover a bit more distance whilst staying around everyone. At one point of the journey, everyone kind of feels the rain kind of subside for a little bit before it starts again. And as you look up, you see quite high up in the distance an airship passing by.
Shit.
Cool.
Seems to be heading in the same kind of northern direction as you, but at such a height it's a bit hard to see where it's going, and it soon disappears into the dark clouds. But at around lunchtime, midday, if the sun was visible, it would be right in the middle, high in the sky. You approach the town of Vatherond.
Cute.
Oh,
Kelly kind of gets herself off Obark and goes, well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go and clean myself up. She starts heading towards the Grey Beyond. I'm going to say, like, you come in from maybe this direction down here.
I'm gonna also go to the Grey Beyond and see if I've got their name here. 1 second. Yeah, but see if what's the name? Hold up.
Balinor.
Yeah, Balinor is still there.
Mm-hmm. Are you all going into the tavern?
it seems like we're all heading in the same direction. I got some business at the markets, but could definitely go for a liquid lunch.
Sure.
As I also will look at Puck and say, we had a deal, correct? I help you,
Absolutely.
you help me.
I have every intention of holding up my end of that bargain.
Appreciate it.
As you kind of go up the stairs, Kelly kind of looks behind her and sees you all following and is like, well, I don't know what I expected, but please come in and I'm sure we can share some food with you as repayment for bringing me back. She flicks open the door and you see the gnome bartender behind the bar kind of get a shock and drop 2 of the glasses, and it's he goes, oh, guess to get, oh, Callie, you're back. Well, I've been looking after the place. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but I'm sure I can clean it up for you. She kind of takes a look around, eyes the place. There's a couple of patrons sitting around the tables, and she turns back to you, Puck, and she goes, I can definitely clean this place up a bit. I apologize for the tardiness. She walks straight over to Brackles and starts talking to him. You can't make out what they're saying. But as you look around the tavern, there doesn't seem to be anyone that you recognize, Vargir.
Hey, gnome. As I look at the
Oh, you guys are back. Now, Kelly, I did say that they could stay here for one night for free. I'll pay it out of my own pocket. I swear. I didn't mean to do anything. They came in here and they started fighting everyone, and I didn't know whether they would kill me. And she's like, shh, she just like calms them down and like continues talking to him. But what were you going to say to him?
Balinor, the elvish woman that hangs out at the Church of Silver Flame. She been around?
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe this morning. Didn't wait too long. Looked grumpy. Maybe left.
I could imagine. Well, and as I'll look to Puck and I'll say, I need to go to the church. I believe that's where she'll be.
Well, how about, are you happy to go on your own? We'll get some lunch and you can grab us, or
Sounds good. I'll meet you back here. As I kind of like nod at the rest of the party. And if you three have any intention of helping me out with this endeavor, I would appreciate it a lot. But I understand you all have your own things to do now.
I mean, two of you,
I'm sure we can work out some sort of quid pro quo.
I think this particular quest might involve going out into the mists, which I believe is of interest to all of us.
Sort of give a nod to Hera.
I was gonna say once we got into the tavern, if people were sort of splitting up to go and talk like we went into, I'm probably going to go straight up to the middle pole, and I'm just going to be sort of standing, not really listening to the conversation, looking at what the different artifact quest things are on the board, and sort of just
You
walking
see, yeah, you go to this triangular post in the middle of the tavern, and maybe word spreads faster than fire sometimes, but there are a couple of notes nailed up to the quest board. If you want to grab something, Hera, there are 4 that you see. The first one says, "Speak to Garunda in the salvage market about entering the grey to look for missing person."
That's not an artifact.
you know Garunda.
I do know Garunda, absolutely.
The name does ring a bell. The second is in a almost a cursive hand. Reads, "A faithless scoundrel has stolen a relic from the Chapel of the Silver Flame. Visit Mother Jahana to assist."
God, I should be writing this
I
down.
definitely sort of touched on that one, and then keep reading the other ones, sort of thing.
Sure. The third one is in almost a quick hand, a scribble. You've got to kind of almost take your time to make it out. It's very messy handwriting. It looks like it was written in very hurriedly speed. "Ring the scrapyard bell just after sunup. For no questions asked, cash job. Expect danger, full stop."
Fantastic.
And then the fourth one is in almost like, it looks like it's been printed. Very stock letters, almost like with a printing press kind of thing, but it still is on almost a scrap-ish bit of paper. Title says, "Jorosco Foundation. Requires Jorosco, Jorasco. Jorosco Foundation. Requires willing crew to take on aid request. Multiple skills required. Generous payment up for offer. Speak to Dr. Arturo Urson at Salvation Hotel for more details."
Anything of note there, Hera?
You said, sort of half listening to the conversation, I'll say to Vargas, you said Church of the Silver Flame, and I'll sort of pull that post note off the thing. I'll walk over to, if they're like sitting at a table sort of thing, I'll pop that down. I wondered if this is what your lady friend was asking you to retrieve.
DM, what was the name on that Church of the Silver Flame? Who did I ask to see?
That would be Mother Jahana.
Mother Jahana.
Jahanah.
Also, you're on mute, Sid. I don't know if you were saying something just before.
No, I wasn't. You're all right. Although I will be heading to the church.
Before you go,
I
don't know that you have this, but you got given something. Did you want the people who can identify that to have a look at it? Oh no, so Hera got given it. My apologies.
Yeah,
Hera got given something.
I was like a bag of spice.
No, did you spice? No,
You can
Hera got given
identify that.
something.
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna actually ask about that. Would I be able to work out what it is by myself without the identifier?
Yes, if you sat with it all night.
Yeah, I think I would have put it in straight away, and then probably on my watch
Yep.
would have sort of clicked onto what it can be doing.
Just to clarify, was that Puck asking or Jed?
That was Jed.
Yep, cool.
Okay, yeah, no, that's legit. You'll definitely see that I've just got one dangly earring on one side though, and no jewelry on the other side.
Oh, wonderful.
First round's up, you see a round of drinks get pushed across the bar, and some of the other patrons start standing, and like Kelly just shoots them a look, and they just sit back down.
That was a good point, Puck. I think I have a good understanding of why the other three want to go into mists, but as far as I'm aware, you're here to tell off the proprietor of a tavern. You have interest.
Oh, I may have misspoken. My interest is in helping those who paying down my debt to you all for your assistance.
I understand.
I'm not even really sure what's out there. I grew up around this general area, but my interests have never really lay with what's out there.
As they shouldn't. I scull back the rest of my drink. Another one, please.
Turns
So
around.
if you know what's out there, young ghost.
Been in the mists once before.
Definitely. Eyebrows rise at that. And
Your second drink slides across the bar to you.
Drinks about half of it from the go. It's a long time ago. I was only young. It was a mistake. I wasn't ready. To be honest, I'm still not sure if I am, but something I want to find out there. And definitely going to feel much better about it being surrounded by competent folk as yourselves.
That's very intriguing. And what about you, Molokov? What is? Sorry, I had massive mental blank. Then I was like, "What is his name? What's?"
what about you, cat?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, no, I can't think of it." No. What is your interest? I spoke to Hera this morning. You're from the university, but what are you studying? What is your interest?
I have many studies. Mostly in the very ancient enchantments. I have a great interest in artifacts and creations. I hope to unlock their secrets and, well, there are certainly a lot of secrets out there, I hear.
So just driven by curiosity? Are you on some specific quest from the university to get anything, or just research?
It is Hera's quest, mostly. But But as you may have gathered, we are quite close. I could not let her do this alone.
I'm not familiar with how your kind ages, but how old are you and how old is she? And for that matter, Ghost yourself.
I am young, I guess. We age similar to the human folk. Can't actually remember off the top of my head
That's cool.
my exact age, but I'm around 26, I think. I've got it written down somewhere, but yeah. I'm relatively young.
Okay.
Hera has a few years on me.
I try to be older than I look. No. I try to act older than I am. I'm 18.
Well, you've both accomplished quite a lot in your short lives. I'll say, like, gesturing at your arm, Molokov, and the briefcase and that kind of stuff. Like, I'm very impressed.
It's the resources at the university were a great help in that regard.
Is your I apologize if this is rude, but is your arm inside of that, or?
No.
Fuck me sideways, really?
My is no longer around. I built this to replace it.
Oh, fuck. That's... Now, I knew you could do some shit, but that's seriously fucking impressive. I really thought it was like... No, sorry. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I am seriously very well impressed. I mean, I had like 4 years of intensive training to make what I make, but you built a fucking arm and it works.
Can you feel with it?
Sorry. Ouchies.
I cannot. Well, certain things. I cannot feel like I can feel with this, but it's hard to explain. There is much more than nuts and bolts that have gone into it. I could not have done it without, as I say, the resources of the university and the help of good friends. And I sort of nod towards here.
One of the patrons is getting a drink at the other end of the bar, and he's kind of drunk by midday kind of thing. Human, bit scraggly hair, and he goes, "Oh, that is a really cool arm. What you got there, that's really cool."
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Waddles back to his table.
So they give him a
Terminator.
Yeah.
You might want to water that one down.
He's already gone back to his table.
But thank you. It is thank you, Puck. It is one of my proudest achievements.
No, I'd be proud if I was able to do something like that. It's incredible. I don't really know what more to say to it. I have no understanding of how it works, but it does, and that's amazing.
Believe it or not, I don't know all its secrets either. Strange things happened when it bonded with me.
Interesting.
And he sort of leaves it at that and takes another drink.
Kelly will come up to the bar and go, "Well, I've talked to Baracus, and it sounds like you guys made quite a fuss when you arrived in town. And to honor his word and to say thank you for saving me, well, collecting me, you are free to stay here for a night, free of charge. The rooms have been made for you upstairs. 5 if you please, less if you want."
Very generous of you. I think we might be heading back out later, but we'll try and be back. We'll see. We might be going.
You owe me no
on
timetable,
west.
so Do what you will. They're yours for a night.
If I remember correctly, there is one timetable you owe him. Point towards the paperwork.
She looks at it as it's kind of been like put on the back counter of the bar. Yes, I will do that once I start running my day job.
Hey, good call. I'm just another idiot drinking at your bar. Tap my drink on the bar and finish the rest of it.
If we leave town, Callie, I will need that to be done by the time we return.
Well, you give me a time period and I'll get it done.
Sounds good.
Right. Business for the day.
Yeah, it's around midday-ish.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I need to get to the markets. I missed it yesterday. A couple of things I got to pick up.
Well, I might stay here in case Vargir comes back, but if anyone else wants to go, you're welcome.
Sure.
You'll basically be able to yell at me. I'm just across the way.
Actually, you know what? The barkeep can tell them where we've gone, so I'll go and let them know where we're going, that we're going to go to the markets, and if Vargir comes back to find us there.
Sure. Hera, did you go with Vargir?
I was unaware that I had already left.
I think he was on his way to leaving when you were
I
looking
thought he
at
was
the
still more at
things.
this point.
Yeah, I think I probably would have gone with him. I
Okay.
probably would have just said to Molotov that that sheet that I grabbed looks interesting enough for the university, and if he's already needing to go to the Church of Silver Flame, I was going to go with him.
Yep.
Agreed. Check it out, and I'll see what we can find at the markets. Maybe there's something of interest.
Oh,
Sure.
good call.
Actually, DM, I will, on the way of walking out, I will walk past that totem pillar and just have a look at the other jobs that didn't get told to me by Hera.
Yep, you see the same four. There are little other ones like, get some apples for me and stuff like that, but like these are the four main ones kind of thing.
Main ones, yeah.
Pick some apples.
5 bears.
Please don't take that quest. It's not going to do it.
I will,
Go out and collect 5 red flowers, 7 yellow flowers.
Yeah.
you fucking got it.
But
Let's
guess
do
what?
this.
They're down by the knoll mine, and you've got to go there and then
Well,
come
one of
back.
them there, and the other one only grows on a mountain on the other side of the continent.
Yeah.
Now that would be an actual mission. I will sort of look over them and then do a double take, step back, and pull out my notebook and write down Garunda's name.
Yep.
And searching for a missing person.
Yep.
Underscore. And then kind of laugh and take the mystery note
Yep.
about ringing a scrapyard bell.
Sure.
Fold it up, slide it into the book as well, slip that back into my pocket.
All right.
The market?
As you three gather yourselves and head up to the market, we will cut to Hera and Vargir heading towards the Church of the Silver Flame. As you leave the bar behind you and start making your way through the streets, there are people around. It's an active town. It's a rainy day, so not everyone's out. But things are definitely open. It doesn't take too long, maybe 5-10 minutes to walk around the corner kind of thing. And as you approach the chapel of sorts, it is made of like clean stone. It looks polished almost. As you make your way up to the doors, there's 2 wooden doors that have embossed in them flames on each one. You open it up, and inside several benches laid out, almost like pews kind of thing. And at the front there is a stone altar with a silver dish in the center of it. Behind it is a large tapestry with the image of a silver arrow that has flames licking around it. A middle-aged woman dressed in kind of like cleric's attire smiles at you from the front and gestures in to you. She's got like one of those cleric headbands on that kind of come down, almost like a nun outfit, but it's white with bronze accents to it. She goes, "Welcome. I am Mother Johanna, keeper of the chapel. How can the Silver Flame be of service today?"
Beautiful church you have here.
Thank you. It's a lot of work, especially this far out from what some call civilization, but the flame reaches all places. I can assure you of that.
Well, it's a pleasure to be touched by it.
What brings you to the church today? Please, sit. She kind of almost, that motherly thing of making you sit down, and hands you a kind of like a small thing of water. Because please, and Hera, she kind of sits you down as well and introduces herself, Mother Johanna.
Lovely to.
Vagir. I'm looking for a elvish woman. Goes by Balinor. She said she's been kind of resting up here for the past couple of days.
Ah, yes, Balinor. She, a beauty at heart, isn't she? Well, she's been staying with us for quite some time. Well, more than welcome. Well, we do have some sort of makeshift accommodation, I guess you could call it, out the back. We try and house all that we can, and as you know, the Silver Flame will protect those that are innocent and pure of heart. But no, Balinor has been staying here for quite some time. Just the other night, actually, she made quite an amazing soup for us. We were very blown away by it, but she's not really a talker, that one. She's just carrying on talking.
I'll kind of like interrupt and say, well, I have to try that sometime, but it's kind of a matter of urgency. I was meant to meet her this morning at the tavern, but
oh, I do tell her she shouldn't spend all her time there. It's not a good look for herself outside and inside, but I suppose if you were meeting her, then she did mention something about something in the mists, a monster of sorts that she was
correct, yeah,
going after.
Going after. She was asking. She hasn't gone by herself, has she?
Oh, well, I'm unsure. She was talking about this morning when she left.
Left for where? The tavern?
I believe the tavern, yes.
She's not around any longer.
I haven't seen her all day. You do got to appreciate I've got duties to do here, and it doesn't keep as clean as it does by itself. But actually, scrubbing the floors the other day, it was quite hard. I could get a spot out.
Do you know where she was resting up? I wouldn't mind going and seeing if there was any sign of where she went.
Oh, well, yes, she has her quarters out the back, but I'm afraid I don't know you, and she didn't really expect visitors, so I'm a little bit hesitant to show her belongings to a stranger.
I do understand, but if she has left for this beast she's been talking about by herself, she is in quite a bit of danger. So.
Well, Vagir, was it?
Yeah.
I'm sure we're all in a bit of danger when it comes to it, but I still stand my ground. I don't feel comfortable showing off someone's belongings to a complete stranger. You could be a spy for all I know.
That's fair enough. I won't say more.
Are you you look a bit tough. You are the adventuring type. Is that why she sought you out?
Correct. We just I was meant to meet her this morning, but we were dealing with your little knoll issue to the south.
Oh, yes, the word has spread that a group of adventurers were taking care of it. I didn't believe it to be true to start off with, but you might be able to help me then. Maybe in return I could gain your trust, and I suppose if I haven't seen Balinor in a few, or even by the end of the day, maybe I could show her stuff to you. Maybe you might be able to help find her if she is missing. She might just be running errands, you see.
Okay. Well, I first have to do this job for her, but I can see if I can help.
Of course, of course.
As I kind of turn to Hera and I'll say, weren't you talking about something about a missing artifact or something?
Oh yes, and I'll start scribbling through all these different bits of paper that I've got on me. Yes, here it is, and I'll pull out the out of the relic bit of paper.
Oh, yep, yep.
Inquire. Is this an open offer of a job?
Is anyone invited to this party?
Oh, yes, you saw my note. Well, I was about to reference it myself, but yes, if you are willing to help, then that would be tremendous help for the Church of the Silver Flame. A few days ago, I was out running errands, and I left the chapel and came back, and you see, well, one of our relics has disappeared. We call it the Arrow of Truth. Be it what use any names are, but a few magical properties, sure. And didn't think anyone would be interested in it, but it seems someone has broken into the chapel and stolen it. I have my suspicions about who might it be, but if you could get that arrow back for me, I would be extremely grateful. And of course, I would pay, as all adventurers expect.
And who do you suspect?
Well, I shouldn't gossip. It's not fully pure, but
Don't think of it as gossiping. Think of it as just helping us out.
of course. And she kind of like convinces herself. Well, there is Zodor Terev. I know he's a thief.
Why do you say that?
Just the way he acts it's too shady. He normally sets himself up at one of the taverns around town, but he's had a vendetta against me ever since I banned him from being in here.
Why did you ban him?
Well, he was causing a fuss and kept spouting out about how the Church of the Silver Flame was a lie told to the people, and, well, I'd rather not go into details.
I understand. I wouldn't want my faith questioned either. Look, we can go maybe have a chat with this Zodor, find out if we can get any information, but as you said, I'll come back later this evening, and if Belenor's not back, I wouldn't mind having a look through her stuff.
Well, yes, we'll see about that. But yes, if you could go and ask, or maybe find out some information from Zodor, then hopefully we can resolve this, and I can have my arrow back.
Be happy to help. Hera, what do you think?
Oh yes. Well, anything to get into the good graces, I guess. I'm quite interested in relics myself, so it'd be nice to have a look in person.
Oh, I'd be happy
Maybe-
to share the information with you once you get it back to me.
That's good. Very well in our favor.
Well,
So
I'm sorry, go.
perhaps we will go return to the tavern and find the others. Maybe they will be able to help us, do you think? Or...
I think so. No harm in trying. Sorry, you said he hung out around one of the taverns around town, correct?
Yes. I suppose he has his office of sorts by the station, but he's hardly ever there. Normally
By
out.
the station.
Yes, there are a couple of renter space offices. He's kind of set up himself in there and runs his business and trade, he calls it, but who knows what kind of shifty dealings are going on.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe let's head back to the tavern. Let the others know what we found out and what we didn't, and then go from there.
All right, so you
Here.
leave the thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. We'll head back to the tavern.
All right. The rest of you approach the salvage market. It is almost like a bazaar of tents and stalls, and it's not extremely busy today because of the rain. But there are a few brokers, kind of trading stuff and looking around. We'll kind of treat it as one big shop if you're looking at it for anything in particular. But you do see, kind of wandering around the stalls, a little goblin with his ears hanging out and kind of drooping with the rain kind of dripping off them. And kind of looks at a piece of something and puts it down, moves to the next stall. You do identify this as Garunda.
Oh. Yeah. Front of house. I'm gonna go say hi.
Wander up
I don't know if
to
you find
him.
anything interesting.
You kind of, as you approach him, you kind of feel a sort of almost shimmer as you kind of look up along the tent lines, and you see occasionally a spider come in and out of phase. But Garinda will turn around and go, "Oh, well, fancy seeing you lot here. I'm glad you made it back, actually. I was getting quite worried for a bit."
Hey, and still have all my fingers.
But he kind of like, "Oh, and so you do. A bonus to be grateful for every day." Like, and he pulls out a notebook. "I'm going to write that down. Count your fingers every day, for you never know when there might be 9.
Hey, seems like you're a man of inspirations. I like it.
Oh,
It's good to see you made it
absolutely.
back to yourself.
My work is...
And
carry on.
yeah, and your friend, I can't remember their name for the life of me. Face spider's name.
Oh, Leclerc.
Leclerc, that's the one.
Yes, he's
8 legs.
8 legs. Yes. He writes something else down in his notepad. No, people don't tend to be too fond of him down here on the ground, so he kind of just keeps his distance.
That's understandable. It's a little shocking's not the right word, but surprising to say the least.
Yeah, of course.
I know we were. I actually the reason I've come to, not the only reason I've come to, fortunate running into you here. I saw your note that you left in the Grey Beyond.
Oh, yes. Quite unfortunate, actually. The friend I was wanting to visit has seemed to have disappeared. Reports say that they wandered down the old rail line into the mists. Have a look ahead.
Boy, this friend of yours, I don't remember you mentioning their name.
Oh, Balinor.
Balinor. Funny that. The large fellow with us.
Oh,
Met Balinor.
yes. It kind of like looks up and goes, "You might have all your fingers, but you don't have all your friends. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew something would happen, and I shouldn't have sent you there alone." He starts to kind of like rubbing his forehead.
Hey, no. Don't get me wrong. I know it seems we're a little thin on numbers, but you're just splitting alliances. Everyone's with us, and we found Kelly, the lady we were looking for.
Oh, how wonderful. I'll have to go say hi. Absolutely wonderful. So, you're all alive. That blesses my heart. Well,
Hey, it was a close call, but yes, we're all well. But he had met Belenol, I believe, before we left.
Right.
She had a go. Something about hunting a creature in the mists.
Oh, yes, that would be Bellinor. Always trying to find the next big thing and trying to rid the world of all the evils and stuff. But yeah, I hope she didn't follow it for herself. I can't imagine
Bounty
why.
hunter. Is she?
Mm, maybe not for the bounty, just a hunter.
Aye.
Hunter of big game.
Yes, yeah. Get a few prizes up on your wall.
And why did you come to see her?
Oh, I've been friends with Bellinor for years. Knew she was set up in Vatheront, and I thought I'd pay her a visit.
So he's got a stall, right?
No, he's shopping.
Oh, okay, cool. What's he bought?
Give me a perception check.
What you got there in your basket? Hey, what's in your basket?
That's a perception. 18.
18. By the looks of his slings and his bags and stuff, he's bought some papers, some inks, maybe some fruits and stuff. Pretty basic, mundane stuff.
Yeah. Where are you set up, by the way? Are you staying somewhere?
Yes, I've managed to secure myself a room at the Salvation Hotel. Very nice comforts there. Very nice, I must say. And not as busy as some of the other places in town. You see, I'm a goblin of fine taste when I can, even if I find myself in these random locations around the world.
I can't argue with that. I haven't been there myself, but I've heard good things.
Oh, yes, well, swing by anytime you want, and I'm sure that guests are allowed. Well, if not, I might ask for it. Jot that down in his notebook, ask for guests +1, and then you cross that out, 5.
Well, if she's gone missing, that probably means that. Oh my God, names. Vargir's probably having a hard time getting the information about that mission.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? But no, she is a good friend of mine, and if you are thinking about tracking her down, I would be in your debt again.
I'm thinking out loud, but it seems a lot of our current priorities are blended into one. I'm definitely eager to help you out, friend.
Makes for an easy day.
No missing friend is a good one.
No, it would be very nice to catch up and tell some stories of my travels, but I can share them with you for now, but it would be nice to see a friendly face.
Well, we know where you're staying. Once we meet up with the rest of our crew, we'll see what we can do. God bless you.
It's
Do you
the
happen to know how long ago she wandered down these tracks?
well, let's see. I got told she was staying in the church last night when I arrived. I was quite worn out and I fell asleep straight away. This morning I came out, did some shopping, and went to the Grey Beyond. She usually is there as a regular, and they said that she had seen her this morning, and that she mentioned going off after some beast or something, a beast of stone, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the only clue that little gnome could give me was that she wandered down the old tracks.
Which ones are those? Or just for a direction.
So currently the station ends here in Vatheront. The tracks that go into the shade, the moorland, the whatever you want to call it, they have been discontinued. Kind of have gone out of sorts. As you can see on the map, the lightning rails do not light up past the thing. But even though there's the cross there, you could probably see that like there are kind of, you know, that like raggedy tracks that are kind of half covered in sand kind of continue out into the big wall of dust and smoke that is the shade.
Wait.
Maybe it was a measure of finding her way back. If she stays on the tracks, she can find her way back.
That's a very good point. She's an experienced hunter, right?
Yes, I would say she's hunted a few things in her life.
Right, so she's probably very good at tracking and covering her own tracks. The railroad's a good starting point. So you're right. Well, perhaps our schedule's a little more compressed than we'd like it to be, lads.
Yes, I think we suddenly have some urgency.
But
Okay,
a few hours behind her now.
Oh, sorry.
We're but a few hours behind her now. I'd hate to
Yes, it'll only get harder.
alone for the night. Oh fuck! This is all a little new for me. Boy, I need another drink.
All right.
I'll catch up with you soon. Go on to.
Oh, sure. Well, I'll be wandering around town, and I'll end up back at my hotel at the end of the day.
Hey, we have some shopping to do too. But,
Of course, there's quite a bit of variety here, and you take a look around, and so the salvage markets will be used for, your basic adventuring gear and stuff like that, maybe some potions and stuff.
Yeah, cool. For the sake of brevity, I'm looking for a set of smith's tools,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know whether I need to be here at the salvage yard. Possibly might have to do a run across town, but also the materials for building a shield.
Okay.
Um,
You start looking around, and there are a variety of different stalls. There are some that are orcs, there are some that are humans, the occasional dwarf, but you can pick up some smith's tools for 15 gold pieces.
Gold pieces. Absolutely. Hey, do you take salvage?
Oh, well, that's probably the best form of currency. Salvage is 2 salvage equals 1 gold.
2 salvage equals 1 gold.
Correct.
Okay. So it's more valuable than silver, but not quite as much as gold.
Correct.
Understood. In that case, I will pay. I'll pay. I'll figure out the exact.
Kind of hand
breakdown of
over
it.
some of the bits and pieces and looks at it and kind of examines it and goes, yeah, all right, well, puts it all together. Here you go. Make what you will of this pack. And you can add
Hey.
smith's tools to your inventory.
Wonderful. And do you buy goods?
Oh, well, it depends what you're selling.
We picked this up in the same place we picked up our salvage. I'll pull out the chandelier.
Oh,
Unless
my lord.
the two of you have any use for this.
No,
Probably nearly as
none.
tall as I am, to be fair.
Although if he won't buy it, perhaps the Salvation Hotel will.
Well, I can give you 50 salvage for it.
It seems like a fair price to me.
Puts it all together. Kind of like lugs the chandelier over his counter and like doesn't know where to put it. So kind of just like hangs it from the side of his tent.
Yes.
That's the tent.
I'll give you each 20 salvage. From that.
I assume just the 2 people that are with you.
Yeah. Feel free to pass on the rest if need be.
Anything else you were looking for on materials?
Yeah, the materials. Is that something we can get in the markets or?
Well, I'm sure you can put something together, but you might want to go and see the smith. They might have some better materials for you.
Hey, there is a smith in town.
Oh yes, down in the trading square. Let me just pick up my
Five.
locations. Ah yes, The All Restore Blacksmith.
All restore blacksmith.
Or O-R-E.
Or restore.
Or restore.
Aye, I think that's my next place of interest.
Well, good luck to you, my friend.
Hey,
Kind of move away. Puck and Molotov, were you after anything in the market?
You could replace your weapon.
Probably was
That's a fantastic name for a replacement.
probably would have been like poking around at a few different stalls, but wouldn't have bought everything as Ghost starts has indicates that he's got more shopping to do. I sort of turn to Park and should we try and find Vagir? He will not like this news. I think he should know where his friend has gone.
Yes. Just looking at the map, the salvage market is there. Okay. Yeah, well, we're not far away, so if we head across, little dots appearing everywhere. If we head back across, maybe we'll run into him.
Yeah, you can definitely see the church's outline from like through the tents kind of thing. And I think at this point you guys would have been leaving the church, so you kind of meet up. Go for it, bumping into each other.
Ah,
I was just coming back to find you guys. Turns out Bellinor's not at the church. Don't know where she is, but
unfortunately, it seems that we do. We ran into our old friend Grunda.
hmm.
The goblin we met on the road.
Yeah.
It would seem your friend has followed the tracks and not in the right direction. She may have begun the quest already.
Shit. Well,
I have no great reason to stay in this town. If we need
Sounds
to
like-
make haste.
Sounds like if she's left, our best bet of finding her soon is to leave soon.
I agree. As I'll let out a little.
Obak will kind of wander through the streets. People are like kind of almost moving out of the way of it, but he's just
sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of like start walking over to Obak and jump on him and say, "Where's the rest of us? Where's Ghost?"
He's had one more stop to make. Hopefully not too long.
Okay. Did you decide where to meet him?
Well, I still have to go get Swift Scale, so perhaps if maybe we would have agreed to meet back at the tavern. That's what we said we were going.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I apologize. Is this a close friend of yours?
No. I only met her yesterday, but I'm not exactly a fan of people putting themselves in danger. As he kind of like recalls himself.
Hot kettle
charging
black.
into the-
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Getting like Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Well,
Varg is gonna just like kind of like we're meeting going back to the tavern, but Varg is just gonna kind of like just be sitting on Obak outside, kind of just ready to go at
Sure.
yeah.
as soon as he's gonna ready his action to leave.
Sure, you definitely are prepared, and everyone else kind of wanders back into the tavern. But Ghost, you head down to the what's it called, Trade Square, and you see a couple of shops here. There's a baker's, there's an alchemist, there's a blacksmith, general adventuring gear. Not alchemist, an apothecary. But you do see on one of the signs that says "or restore blacksmith."
Oh yeah, I'm a little laser focused at the moment. Let's go straight there.
All right, walk in, and it's your very classic blacksmith that there's a smelter thing, but at the back there's an anvil, and one just behind the counter, you see a kind of tall-ish female character, shaved, number one haircut, soot across her face, and you see that there is down her neck, there's like a kind of a metal tendon almost. As she clink, clink, looks up. Ah. Hello. Can I be of assistance?
Hi. I looking to buy some materials.
Materials. What specifically for?
Well, I'm actually, perhaps we can help each other out. I'm looking to build a shield. I'm a bit of a tinker, smith myself.
A shield.
But I'm looking to personalize something. As much as I'm a fan of investing in others' work, I have my own taste, flavor, you might say.
Of course, everyone does. I can make it for you for a cost. I can put any design on it for you if you want.
I was thinking, might be a bit weird, odd request, but if you have any half-finished work that I could purchase from you that I could finish at a later point.
Oh, no, I don't think the owner would appreciate me giving out half-finished work. We have a reputation to uphold, you see.
Aye, that's understandable. Well, in that case, shields. What have you got?
Well, she kind of puts the hammer down and goes over and finds a couple. They're not in the best condition. We're talking some wooden ones, maybe some iron ones with wooden, wooden ones with iron framing. Well, I got a couple of these. They'll go for about 25 to 30 gold.
25 to 30. What are the chances you could sell me some plate steel?
Plate steel?
Maybe brass, if you have it.
Looks around.
Sheet steel, sorry.
I'd have to check our inventories. I'm a little bit busy at the moment, but if you come back a bit later, I can organize something for you.
A bit later. Oh, sorry. My mind's on a lot of things at the moment. Under a bit of time pressure.
Well, I'll be here tomorrow and the day after that.
I hope I will be too.
Just get really philosophical with a blacksmith.
Never mind. Yeah, I'll take this one off
Sure.
your hands, and I'll be back when I'm back to hopefully do some more trade.
Of course. And she gives you almost like a square-ish, kind of rectangular shield. Shall we call it in the middle then 28 gold?
28. Fair deal. I'll pay her.
Hand it over. She'll take the gold. Well, pleasure doing business with you. You're welcome back anytime. As a customer.
Much. I'm sorry. Your name.
Oh, my apologies. Not normally the front of the business. That's normally the owner. My name is Channa de Kenneth.
Anna de Kenneth. And you're just I don't mean that. Say you're not the owner. Who runs the establishment?
Apprentice is the correct term.
Aye. And who's the owner?
The owner is Corin.
Warren.
He's out of town on a trading escapade. Should be back within the week.
Hey, good to know. Hey, say, you haven't happened to see a dwarven gentlemen come through this way?
Not that I can
Large-
recall.
Stone pauldrons? No? Alright. Never mind. Well, anyway, it's a pleasure doing business with you. I best be going.
Of course. Just goes back to ting, ting.
That just get a, as I leave, just a closer look at that
Yeah.
ligament.
Give me an investigation check.
That's cocked as fuck. I need a flat surface. Ooh. Plus. Nine.
9 total.
Yep.
She kind of turns the opposite way when she goes back to
Yeah.
hammering, and you don't get a look at it.
Never mind. I walk out and start heading back and put it on, and it doesn't feel right. Garnish.
Yeah, the straps are loose. It doesn't. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna need another drink. Yeah, I'll head back to the rest of the group.
All right. As you arrive back at the Grey Beyond, you see Vargir outside on Obak, and you can see that the rest of them are inside, kind of waiting for you. Oh, maybe they were hanging around the porch, kind of thing.
Ghost, got everything you need?
I've got stuff. Hardly what I need. Wait, no, there is one more thing. I walk inside. Who's at the bar? Is it Brackle? What's his name?
Brackles, yeah.
Brackle.
Yes.
I have 2 bottles of your most standard ass strongest fucking whiskey you have.
Of course. Turns around and kind of like looks around. Kelly isn't around. That'll be 2 gold.
I give him. Is he seriously undercharging me because of insight? Because of who I am and
Roll an insight check.
like that we've called? That's awesome. 16.
16. This is a conscious decision.
He is undercharging me? Yeah. You're far too fucking kind. Put 4 gold on the table.
You see him quickly grab 2 and then put 2 in the counter.
Right. Uncork one bottle, take a swig, cork it again. Put them both away. Oh, now I'm ready.
All right. So you all gather outside. Are you making a plan?
Which way? Down the tracks? That way? Is anyone good at tracking?
Towards the
Just as
Think
a gameplay tracking, is that more survival based?
Yeah, it'd be survival.
Yeah. Okay, then Vargir will say, "I've done it from time to time. I can always, Beck can always go ahead. Maybe you can come with me, Puck. The faster we can be and catch up with her."
Is Obak fast?
No.
Okay.
No, he
No offense, but it's a giant fucking wall of mist. You wander too far off, we might not see you again.
Are we going? Oh, we're going directly into the mist.
It seems that's the way you're
Forever,
going.
look directly fucking at it, lad.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize it was that close.
Let me show you back on this.
Oh,
I would say she's
The red, so the yellow lines are the lightning rail.
right.
We've got like what, an hour's travel down the old rail to get to the face of the mist.
Correct. And from here, you can see it does shadow the town. This wall of looks like a constant forest fire is just straight up. Give me a perception check, Vargir.
Sure. That is a 18.
18. Maybe it's the trick of the light or something, but you do almost see the clouds forming faces.
Target does not like that. Yeah, okay. I mean, I wouldn't have said any of that then, knowing now it was that close.
Yeah.
But I definitely will be like, are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
Gurunda made a good point.
What's that?
Seems like your friend Balinor is an experienced hunter. She also wouldn't want to get lost. I think the best bet is we stay to the tracks. Hopefully we'll pick up her trail along the way.
Well, we used to have to track for food back home, so I can try and help track.
Wonderful. I'm fucking useless at it.
As I'll kind of gesture to Hera if Hera wants to ride on the back of Oback and help me track, or would you prefer to stay on your feet?
I sort of give a look up and down the big fucking thing. Perhaps I will just stay on my own 2 feet.
Okay. As soon as we get to the old tracks, I want to start trying to. I suspect because I kind of assume that like tracking would almost be like Vargir looking for like any signs of like footprints or anything, but also Oback like smelling the ground.
Yep.
Just before we head off down the old track, when we get to the track, I'll probably turn and just look down the new track, the actual track, just for a second, just sort of think about the track that leads all the way back to the university.
Put a hand on your shoulder, and things are moving quickly now, eh?
Yeah. So shake it off, and at least we stick together, yes?
Always.
Sort of glance at your arm as you say that. Back up to you and turn. So I suppose then I'll start talking to Vargir again. I suppose we start to look for footprints.
Sounds like a plan.
As you kind of look back to the lightning rail that is on and working, and then turn around and see this almost rusted, left behind. This hasn't been used in over 6 years, kind of thing. And you will start moving down the tracks, getting closer and closer to this wall of smoke, mist, magical shade. The smoke that hasn't stopped burning for 6 years since the last war ended. Is it a wall? Is it a cloud? Unsure. Ghost, you take a swig and you almost swallow your stomach as you are about to enter back into the mists for the first time. You get closer and closer to it, and it almost looms above you. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Woo.